Hey guys, how is it going? Sean here. It's been a little while since I've given you a video, so I figured I would give you a little update on what I'm doing right now and some knives I've been working on because, hey, I don't know many people I could talk to. Might as well talk to you guys. Hands are a little beat up right now, as you can see. I broke my thumb about a little more than 6 weeks ago now, so it's almost healed up, but it was rough going there. Just to let you know, skulls are very hard. Do not punch ahead. If you can, avoid punching altogether. But if you're going to punch, do not punch ahead. Because I probably did more injury to myself than the person I punched. Uh, Specifics aside, I'm not a fighter, but yeah, let's get into the knives. So I wanted to show you a couple custom BPS knives I did recently. This one is an HK5, I do believe. It had originally had some like the finger grooves in there, and so I took the handle. I wasn't a fan of the finger grooves. I have a stock HK5, but yeah, I took the handles off. Made myself a stack of, I do believe this is figured maple, maybe Paduke. Oh, I have so many different kinds of exotic wood. I can't really remember all of them. I know this is Wenge, whatever you want to call it. And yeah, I filled in this little spot with, I think it was epoxy and wood sawdust to kind of fill the gap. And then I ground away a lot of the finger grooves right here. So I did have a forced patina on it, like a crossed hatch. I don't know if you can kind of see it. A cross hatch forced patina. It's been wearing off. I'm not sure if I was crazy about it, but it definitely helps prevent the rust, especially on these satin finish BPS, because that 1066 is pretty. It gets rusty pretty easily, especially on the ones that have more surface area like that. But I think it turned out pretty good. Uh, Feel free to the prices are on there because I just had a show recently, and I didn't take all my prices off. So yeah, if you see any blades you like in here, just doobly doo on the comments, and if you pay for shipping, I'll sell you any of these blades for the price that is on here. This is Canadian, by the way, so you in America, if you don't mind paying for shipping, it's that transfer fee is pretty high right now. Anyways, exchange fee, I should say. So yeah, that's a HK5. Let's move that aside. I got a lot to show you right now, so I'm just gonna kind of put them to the side. I may have to clear off the table depending on how many I get going here. This is their BPS, their blanks they sell. This is, I think, my second BPS or third BPS knife blank I've made. I do really like the blades they produce, but their tangs I'm not crazy about. They're pretty short. Like, I think the tang goes to about here, but it does come with a nice collar here, bolster, and but it's the way that there's like a very square tang and it just very sharp edges. I'm not crazy, but like if they made their tangs about that long, it'd probably be a little bit better. But I don't know if that's gonna really hinder uh, the overall strength of the blade, but I wouldn't be beating the crap out of this thing. And I put it on. I had an old vintage ox head axe that my nephew was cutting wood with, and he overstruck and snapped the head off. So I wanted to use the bottom part of the axe because I really liked the wood it was made out of, and plus I wanted to keep the memory of that axe going. So I salvaged the wood out of it and made myself a pretty nice looking blade. It's kind of the tradition of those Japanese style bushcraft blades that have uh, almost like axe handles at the bottom. Very comfortable, allows you to pull back nice and far. Let me just zoom out a little bit so you can. There you go. And a little more in. Right about there. That's good. Yeah, it allows you to pull back and really get some purchase going, and allows you to really grip it nicely. I did finish this handle with I do believe I finished this with super glue. I was really impressed with the finish of what CA glue can do with maybe 3 coats, sand, and then one more finish coat, and then sand, 4 coats of super glue. It's a cheap way to seal your wood, and so far so good. It's been nice. Like it ends up in acrylic. I think that's just solid acrylic, so probably a little more brittle. Like if I did hit this really hard, it would dent it, and it would, instead of like the softer like epoxies, it would crack a little more. But I'll have to see. I might keep this one and put it through some hard paces just to sort of test out the strength of these BPS tangs too. All right, yeah, I'm moving on a little bit. I'm just gonna kind of come at you pretty fast here because I got about 20 or so blades to work through. Just grab from the top. This is a little carving knife I made. Most of these are either going to be Mora blanks or 80 CRV2 carbon steel laurin blanks. I really like those laurin blanks. They have nice long tangs, and the steel is great. If you don't mind kind of a pretty corrosive steel, it's not the easiest to take care of if you don't know what carbon steel entails. But yeah, this is a carving knife I made. I started experimenting with having my blades go at a different angle on this one, so you can see the tang is peen through, uh, and it's a little off center, so the blade kind of has a downward angle to it. I really like it. It's nice and comfortable. The woods are I don't know. I haven't been able to identify this wood. If anybody knows, it's like a marbly figured olive wood, maybe. I am not 100% sure. I bought a lot of exotic wood end cuts from a gentleman in Toronto, and I cannot remember all their names. And there's totally a little face in there. I don't know if you see it. Little dude's face. He's looking at you. There's 2 dudes' faces. There's a guy with a top hat right there. Anyways, moving on. Another little carving blade. I love the way this wood looks. This is Paduk, I believe, and maybe Babinga. It's kind of a softer hardwood, but man, the figures on it are just beautiful. God, I love that wood grain with all that chatoyancy. It's it turned out wonderfully, and they're all sealed with uh, beeswax. I heat them up with a heat gun, and then I rub beeswax into the handle, and then I heat them up again, and then polish them up after. So they smell wonderful, as well as being uh, pretty water resistant to a degree, but you still get the feel of the wood, which is really important. If you start sealing things off like this one, it's not bad, but I like the feel of the actual wood texture in my hand. Really gives you some grip tension, and doesn't make it all glossy. But you throw a little mineral oil on this, and holy crap, this wood grain just sparkles. I really like. I have a nice big chunk of this that I got from that purchase, and I'm going to be using it on quite a few knives. Working our way through. Oh, since we're here, I might as well. So this is the same wood, and this one I sealed with epoxy, and I did not like it that much. This was kind of I was going for a knife for people with like grip issues. So it kind of has the shape of like a bone or like the back of an axe handle almost. Uh, but I figured like people who have problems gripping things might enjoy a little more meat to grab onto. Plus, it gives you some choppa choppa there. But yeah, this is actually the same chunk of wood that I use. And look at the difference in color you get as soon as you seal it. It really darkens the wood, and I don't know. I just wasn't crazy about the feel of it after I finished it. It's a great knife. Other than that, a more number two blank. Uh, yeah. What do you think about it, guys? It's $100, 100 Canadian pesos plus shipping because shipping's ridiculous. So I'm not paying for it. Let's move that. I'm gonna kind of tuck these into each other because there's a bunch. From the top of the stack. Oh, this one's a nice one. I do believe this is a 95, maybe 95, maybe 105 millimeter. Can't can't really be sure. 80 CRV2 again. Paduke walnut, figured walnut, and then figured maple. Uh, more of those ones. I don't know. And then I had some old copper pipe lying around, so I cut pieces off of it, flattened it out with a hammer, and used it as a bolster and an end cap. And it's peeing through. Not all of these are peeing through. Uh, like the little carving ones, I didn't peen this one through. Epoxy, very well fit holes. You know, epoxy is, if you glue a handle right, it's in there. Like, unless you're like launching the knife, like throwing it or something, like, or like trying to baton a piece of wood that's like the length, like as thick as the knife, which you never do. You always go like half the thickness. But yeah, it's in there. But I peen this one. I'm not crazy about peening because it takes a long time, but I wanted this one to be nice and strong. This one has kind of a finger a finger groove and a bottom groove, good for I guess the stabby if you like to do that. I usually prefer my knives to be more like this. Gives me the ability to get right into the base of the knife to use it. But you know, to each their own. Some people like the Mora style, more basic style handles with makes it safer for people who aren't used to using knives. But yeah, this one 125 Canadian pesos. I'm still experimenting with metal in my designs. I don't know. What do you think about it, guys? Tell me what you think in the doobly doo comments. All right, moving on. This one is a layer cake. Yeah, I can't remember all the woods. I know there's Purple Heart, some Paduke. Uh, Maybe that's some walnut. I don't know. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 layers. Not sure if I showed this one in my last video. If I did, I apologize for retreading ground. $140. A 120 millimeter, 80 CRV2, carbon blank. I tried my best to take the ones that I already showed you out of the mix. Let's give you a big boy. Let's get some of these crappy sheaths off here. A little piece of paper. So this is a 170 mil. Yeah, a 170 mil Luku blade. I gave it a 90-degree spine. I took inspiration from the axe handle as well as there's these Japanese blades that I've been lusting over. Oh my god, it's right on the tip of my brain. It'll come to me. They are available on Amazon, but they're like $300, $350, and they take something like 2 weeks from when you order to ship to you. 2 week wait or something. Oh, I really wish I could remember the name. Apologies. But yeah, they have these kind of longer. This one's a little bit longer than their blades, but they have a very pronounced back end, almost like an axe handle, and then they have metal guards. I didn't want to use a metal guard. I'm kind of a wood guy. I like the wood. Uh, so yeah, I just kind of made a finger guard there. And so this one is not peened, but it is set in. I undersized the hole, epoxied in, pounded it in, and then with, I don't know, let me see if I can get it. You can't see it. I formed it really well, but because there was like, I drill a hole. I don't like drill a line. I drill a hole, and then I groove out a little bit to make sure the blade goes in straight. I like file grooves, and then I pound it in, tapered, probably about this long. I cut pieces of wood and they tapered out, like, so it's like a circle, like a dowel basically, that I cut in half, and then I tapered it down, and then I pounded it in on each side, and also put epoxy on the dowels when I pounded them in, and it just locked everything in so well. You can't even see because I used the same wood as the handle for the dowels. I made the dowels. I just took my belt sander and cut a piece of the wood and then made my own dowels out of the wood. This is I do believe an ebony, or not an ebony, sorry, a rosewood handle. I'm not sure what kind of rosewood because I have two different kinds of rosewood, as you'll see in the next big boy that I made. Let's put this off to this side, and as you see, 180. These are pretty low prices for handmade blades. Like, I think this blade alone was $30 US, and then plus shipping, plus exchange rate. I don't know. I think I spent $50 on the blade by itself. So yeah, takes a day at work, plus the material costs. I think that's a pretty reasonable price, but you can tell me. I'm sure if you compare it to like a Mora knife, it's gonna be a lot more expensive. But these are handmade, 100% unique. I don't make any of the same blade twice. I do make similar style blades, as you will see by this one. This is the 210 millimeter, kind of the same idea as this one. I liked this one. I took this out and I beat the crap out of it in my yard when I first built it because I really wanted to test out the dowel structure because I didn't peen it. I wanted to make sure it was strong, and I was so happy with how it worked out. I did the same thing. This one has a little bit more ka-chunk to the handle. I didn't take as much meat off of this. This is a rosewood as well. I think. I'm pretty sure. The guy didn't tell me all the kinds of wood, but he told me a brief overview, and then every time I sort of want to figure out what kind of wood I'm working with, I go on the exotic wood database and I compare it to pictures. But every tree is different, and wood can look different the way you cut it and the way you figure it. But this one turned out just beautiful. I'll get kind of a zoom in. All one piece, especially for the bigger choppers. I don't want to do laminated woods. I don't want to laminate because usually, like when you glue wood together, the strongest part is the glued parts. But I just wanted to make it solid, just to avoid any sort of separation of laminations if you happen to beat the crap on this. So yeah, same sort of idea. You can see on this one the pin's a little more. But you can see what I did. I drilled a hole, then I notched out, like it's an undersized hole, and then I take a file and I file it out because the tangs on these, like, they're not straight. They're tapered. So I drill the hole to about the size of the middle part, and then I file out grooves to accommodate the upper part so the blade can't twist back and forth. Then I fill the whole hole with epoxy, pound the blade in because usually it's undersized, and it just locks everything together. Let the epoxy set, and then for this one I pounded the stake or the dowels in at the same time too, because I didn't want the epoxy to set. I use a slow cure epoxy for this one as opposed to The fast cure 5-minute epoxy, which I use for when I do a just a standard blade. But yeah, I call this one the Chewbacca Choppa because the wood grain. I don't know if let me get focus a little closer. Focus, you fuck. Anyways, the wood grain really reminded me of Chewie's fur, Chewbacca's fur. So I called it the Chewbacca Choppa because I'm a child. All right, let's keep moving on. All right, let's grab this one. So this one I'm not 100% sure I like. This was my first sandwich style epoxy glue up, wenge, and then some sort of figured lighter wood. It's a hardwood, maybe maple. It's got some nice chatoyancy to it. This light is just kind of not ideal. Maybe if I angle it up a bit, I won't get such direct light. But yeah, it's got some really nice wood grain to it. But I'm not sure if I like the handle shape itself. 105 millimeter blade, $95. If you want it, it's yours. If you like the look of it, it's got kind of a Coke bottle shape to it, and I think that's where I don't like, because it's got straight lines here and it's got this kind of curve. Something about the straight lines and the curve, just I don't know, something about it. As far as the actual usability, it's a nice knife. Not peeing through, full out epoxied, and then dowel construction. I don't do the dowels on all of them, but I did it for this one. Just kind of experimenting with different workflows and different ways of assembling, because anything to not have to bang the back of a knife for 2 hours with my headphones in. Dink, 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 dink. I don't know if you've ever peened a knife. It's not fun. Well, let's move on to a peened one. This is a 140 millimeter blade. I was going for the style. I don't know if you ever heard of the Tarava Jacari Puko. I really like that handle shape, so I wanted to make something similar to it, but with a wood handle. I staggered or I angled the bolster here so you can get right in and sharpen right to the end there. This is rosewood, Paduke, more rosewood, Paduke. So just two different kinds of wood, but they're stacked. So like, I don't know if you can kind of see, it's stacked different blocks of rosewood, and $150. Ooh, it sells itself. No, this is a beauty. This one is one of my favorites. It fits my hand just perfectly. Uh Peened to perfection. It ain't going anywhere, brother. This is a tough blade. I can't remember what, I think these are 3 mils, 3 mil stock or 2.5 mil stock. Looks a little thinner than 3. Don't have my calipers here. Gonna have to take my word for it. If you want specifics on these blades, they're on the Laurin blank, so you can find information on them pretty easily online. By the way, I order all my blades off of Knives of the North. Thumbs up to them. They ship to Canada pretty quickly. I got another order coming in. Spent too much money. I've been enjoying this so much. I when I had my show, I think I sold 4 or 5 blades, which is not too many. I don't know. It was a 2-day show. Not really my target market there. It was lots of grandmas. It was an art show, so I still sold blades, which is good. But I took all that money and then reinvested into a bunch of blanks. So I think it was like $400 I made, and it's gone. Coming to me probably in the next couple days, in the magnitude of like, I think 20 different blanks I ordered. I don't think it was 20 actually, because I got some big ones. I got some more of these big ones. And I got some more of the, I think the 105s, because I really like these 105s. As well, I think I got more of these too, because I really like building these. These are 80 mil carving blades. Oh, I fucking love the shapes of these. Excuse my language. This is zebra wood. Uh, I do believe maple. Pretty sure maple, and then ebony on the top and the bottom. Maybe ebony. I don't know. It looks pretty porousy for ebony. But this is, yeah, this is a carving blade peened through, and it is fabulous. This is when I use like a carving blade. This is what I like, where the you don't have the finger guards, so you can get more freedom to hold it different ways. I'm not a child. I know how to hold a blade. I'm not stabbing things, so I don't need finger guards. And if I was going to stab something, I sure as heck wouldn't use this to get blood all over it. But yeah, this one I just love. So I have more of these 80 mils coming in. Something about the way this continuous drop point just, it looks like a shiv kind of, but it is a dream to use. 115 Canadian pesos. I'm giving it away. All right, moving on. Hey, this one's similar. This one has a Ricasso. I think that's what it's called. Yeah, Ricasso. Same blade, same, just Ricasso. I think all the ones I ordered from now on, I'm gonna get Ricassos. I really like the way they finish, and then I don't have to worry about angling the wood to be able to sharpen the whole blade, or adding my own sharpening choil, which I may have to do to a couple of these so people don't mar up the wood when they're sharpening them. I do offer my first sharpening free with all purchase blades, but if I'm shipping them to you, it's not really worth it. Just learn how to sharpen your own blades. But if you're local, you want to buy my blades, I offer my first sharpening free just to get you in the cycle, and then you'll come back every time. But yeah, this is that same wood as that one. That something, I don't know, something dark. And then birch bark. Birch bark. Maybe Paduke, a lighter Paduke, I don't know. And then that's ebony. And then walnut and zebra wood, and the same as the top, peened to perfection. I've been peening a lot lately. That's why I'm kind of, if you hear my disdain for peen, I like wood, but I hate the peen. Something's wrong with me. Anyways, let's keep on trucking through. And if you like any of these, or you have any opinions on them, please comment. I like to comment. I'm always looking to see if people comment on my videos. Some of them do. I get a lot of views on my BPS knife reviews, which is why I led I led this video with my two BPS, because I can put it in the title, BPS custom BPS knives, because that'll probably shoot the views up a lot. A lot. People are really into those BPS knives. I'm thinking it's the price, and they're really nice. I love them. That's what kind of got me into even building the blades. Getting some BPS blanks and working with them really got me into this passion of putting these knives together. And I'm sure those Dutch boys doing that review on the I think it was the Adventurer they did a review on, that probably helped them out tremendously. It only took them 2 years. I tell them to check out BPS for a long time. All right, so oh god, this one looks nice. This is a 95 millimeter with a Ricasso, zebra wood, Paduke, zebra wood, purple heart, zebra wood, purple, zebra wood, and stainless steel bolster. Peened and glued. I glue everything. Like these, yeah. God forbid I mess up on sanding when I do my final sanding, or if I because getting these blanks out, I had to do it one time. I didn't like the blade, and I wanted to get the blank out, and holy crap, it's a tough one. I put these together real good. But yeah, this is a well finished laurin knife. They usually don't come so mirror polished. This one has a nice finish to it. But yeah, 125 Canadian pesos. How could you sell it for that cheap? Because I have so many, and I'm really enjoying doing this, and I just want to get them out there. I want to see what people think of them, and I want to justify making more. If I can't get these out of my house, my wife will murder me because I have a huge knife collection already. And then I started making them. Like, I have about 50 knives already. And now I just, probably over the last 3 months, I've made about 30. I've invested in some decent money into the tools and the wood and the blanks. These blanks come from Finland, then they go to the United States, and then they come to me. So it's not cheap. Still cheaper. Making these is still cheaper than buying them. But yeah, please buy my knives. This is a little shiv carving knife. This is great. Got some purple heart in there. Some black, I don't know, really thin black wood. It was like these really, like, what's that called? Not laminate, but when you, veneer. It was like veneer almost I used. Uh, and then I think this is more Paduke or a lighter bloodwood. Still looks a little light to be bloodwood. It's hard to tell though. Smells like beeswax. What size was this again? I think this is a 60 mil. Very similar blade shape to the, let's see. Yeah, maybe maybe 50? I don't know. Because this is 80. This looks like about 3 centimeters less. You be the judge. But yeah, very similar blade shape to this, like the carving style blades. Meant for a smaller hand. Very ergonomic, rounded. Kind of see the shape of it. Kind of bulbousy, but it fits real good in the hand. At least my hand. I do have some big mitts. These meat hooks got some gravity to them. All right, let's position there. And moving on. Ooh, another Mora blank. Traditional style handle. This one's a little thinner, but it's got the kind of bulbousy center. I don't know, wenge. I know that. But, oh, God, I really should. I should research these and write these down. A number 2 blank, uh, and stack of wood, exotic wood. $110. These Mora blanks are kind of expensive to buy in Canada. I don't know how much you pay for a blank in Finland or wherever you get them, but I think $25. It's more expensive for me to buy a blank than it is to get like a full knife with a sheath, a plastic sheath. Like, I guess it's the economy of scale with the way they produce the knives, but less demand for blanks. There's been a few times where I've almost thought, especially when they're on sale, like every once in a while, the Mora companions will go on sale for $15 or something. Rare, but and just hacking the blade out of it. But I do find their blanks are finished a little nicer. I don't know why. But yeah, feels good in the hand. This is just a glue finish, so it's again undersized hole, pounded in with the grooves filed, more as have the same kind of style where they have like a taper down, except they have a straight part right here, and I think the tang ends right about there. But yeah, it's tapered down, and then they have like little like semicircles cut out of them to like adhere to the plastic or the glue or whatever you're mounting it in the handle with. And most of these knives I do that myself. I take my Dremel, especially if I'm only epoxying them in, like this one, I will take my Dremel and I'll actually Dremel little grooves into the tang to really make sure the glue adheres to everything and gives it something to grab onto when you sink it into that epoxy. Even though you could probably get away with not doing that too, because of the way I put these in, so I force them in. And again, if these aren't coming out, yeah. All right, let's put this here because we're running out of room. All right, another one of these 80mm carving blades. This one I again did an angled cut so you can get right to the tippy tip there if you want to sharpen it right to the bottom. Great feel in the hand. This one I actually, so it's a hole through there, but this piece I custom dremeled that out. No like circle or anything. Only on this top part to kind of finish it. The rest has like that bottom part. It was I'm sure it's just a hole with the grooves cut on the side. Wood, ebony pen, stacks of beautiful exotic woods with some very, very nice chatoyancy wood grain. God damn. That part right there. I like sometimes I'll just go in my woodshed and just look at the wood and just like find the nicest grain pieces. And yeah. This one turned out great. $110. It's steel. None of these come with sheaths. If you want a sheath, you can make one. It's not hard. And or just buy one. Take this to one of your local leather workers and they will make you a sheath no problem. Sorry, I'm not into leather right now. I might work in on it. All right, let's get moving on. Oh, this one was fun to make. This is a little carving blade I made. A little. I might actually take this to my sander and take a little more meat off of it. Pretty bulbousy. This one needs a little more beeswax on it. It looks like it's getting dry. I might need to give this one some love. This is a lot of different layers. This took me a while to make. I was experimenting with the little tiny pieces of wood I get. And that actually cracked. Well, I'll be. It's a little dry in my house. Gonna need to seal that up somehow. Maybe I will seal this handle. That's the thing about these exotic woods coming to Canada. You can't always, they don't always work with you. But yeah, this one took me a lot of work. This is like layers of purple heart at different angles with some ebony, and then there's also layers going this way and that. Like, I went absolutely insane with this one. And it's starting to crack, so it's a little disappointing. Anyways, wenge bottom. This is a 40mm. I think it's the tiniest blade you can get from these guys. and it feels good. $80, but this one, I'm gonna tell you right now, no longer for sale now that I see those cracks. I don't know if you could see them. This man has to invest in a proper humidifier. It's got to be this basement. We turned the heater on recently, and it's got to be the dryness in this basement. I've been getting chapped lips, but so far that's the only one that's done that. So it could just be this one chunk of wood right here because it's the only thing. Yeah, that's the only part that cracked. So let's put that way so you can't see the crack. All right. This one is I call this the gentleman's belt knife, which also needs some more oil and a little sanding. 140 millimeter. This is their carving blade, but it's 140 millimeter. Same length as that. Or wait, 120? Let's see. Yeah, 120. Sorry. Whoopsie daisies. But it's much thinner than their Luku style. I don't know anybody who needs this large of a carving blade, but I mean, I wanted to try the blank out. I like to try everything they have to offer. And Purple Heart, Ebony, Rosewood, and a Wenge bolster. Very nice. Very comfy. Finger guard. Butt guard. Yeah, I definitely need to. It's got bumped around. It got bumped around at the show. Needs a little love. This will need some finishing work. This one I did 2 weeks ago. It's a fairly new one. And not peened, just glued, screwed, and tattooed. This one's kind of a beast. So let's see. You can fit it right there. That kind of messes with the whole look. Let's do. That messes with the thumbnail picture. Can't have it. Let's see. Let's. Right there. And these two I made. Well, this one I made 3 days ago. Yeah, just because I broke my thumb doesn't let me stop making knives. More a number 1 blank. Ooh la la. This is the first number 1. I ordered them on Amazon a little while ago. I think they were on sale for $18 regular. 29 or something for a number 1 blank. I think that's the same size blade that's in their the more number 1, obviously. They make their own habit, and then it's 3.6 in their Craftline series, a little longer than that. So it's in between a companion and a Craftline. 3.9 inch blade. This is what is it? Oak, maybe oak. I don't know, but I matched it. I think it's called. They do it on guitar sometimes, where they cut wood in a specific way and then try and match the flame matched or something. It's a guitar that's used in guitar a lot. So this is laminated this way and then this way and then with these two on top. Drilled and epoxied in. These number 1 blanks have a much shorter tang than the number 2s. Like the number 2, I was able to have a couple other ones that I was actually able to peen the back. You can't peen these number 1s unless you want a handle that is like this long. So you either need to thread and have like a long threaded thing to accept it, or you just have to glue it in and hope for the best. They do have those little divots to hold everything in. And again, It's not coming out. I'm not gonna be beaten on a car like that Joe X guy or whatever. But this one looks great. Great size. It's a little short for my gigantic hands, but if you've ever held a Mora 106, I do believe their carving knife series, it's very similar shape to those, except I kind of like to give them not like a completely circular barrel. I like to go a little thinner and a little taller so you can index it a little easier in your hand. Those Mora carving knife barrel handles and the ones on the the number one and number two and number three, like birch barrels, they're comfy, but they it's easy to like hold them a little like this or like this and not know it because it's just a round thing. So I kind of gave it a little different shape just to be able to index it a bit better, just as comfortable. And yeah, looks fantastic. These ones haven't been priced because they are brand new. And I've just finished this one today. This is a 140 millimeter Loku with a whole bunch of woods. This one my wife does not want me to sell. She really likes this. Zebra wood, maple, purple heart, something, rosewood, that crazy olive wood that's on this handle. More rosewood, and I think that is a hickory or oak bottom. I was going to put a hammer pommel on it, changed my mind. I was going to do like a hammer head, like a screw-on hammerhead that you can like. But I kind of changed my mind last minute because the tang was too low. Like the tang ends probably right about here, and I was gonna put a threaded insert into this, and like you can get these hammer heads that you could like thread in like either plastic or metal or rubber, and I was gonna include them with the knife, kind of so you can have like a hammer pommel, but the tang was a little too long, and I didn't want to compromise like put the threaded insert in and end up like pushing the knife out at the or like forcing the wood to separate or crack or anything if I ended up going too deep. So I changed my mind, plugged the hole up with some sawdust or no, sawed powder, the stuff, my sanding residue when I do sanding, and super glue, and finish it up. It looks okay, but other than that, oh my goodness, I love this knife. It's I was kind of going for the Luku style blade handles, where it's kind of like a barrel style. Again, a little thinner than it is tall to help you index, but it also has this bottom part that just locks your hand in if you want to swing it, hold it back a little more and swing it. It really gives you that good lock in, and sealed with beeswax, made with love, 190 Canadian dollars. Bam. And sad to say, that is all I have so far. I have about let's count them up. What do we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. Did I count some more? 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 21. 21 blades. There. And then I have probably 10 other ones, and I sold like I probably made about 30 between 30 and 40 so far. Let me know if you guys like them. Let's go back to the BPS to finish out the video so people will actually watch this video, because my last knife making I made knives video didn't I think It's been out there for 2 months or something like that. Not many views. Uh, so yeah, BPS, custom BPS. Yeah, that's pretty much all there is. I should probably go put my son to bed pretty soon. He might be he might be wondering where his dad is to read his story. Yeah. Thanks, guys. Thanks for watching. If you made it all the way, oh my goodness, 50 minutes. I gotta stop yammering. If you made it through this video, you're a trooper, and let me know if you think I can improve on anything. If you have any advice on managing exotic woods and the how to preserve them for long periods of time, because I have so much of it, and I don't want it to get ruined or cracked or anything. I know I could do some research, but I figure if I interact with you guys, maybe you'll talk to me, maybe not. Either way, it's okay. If you just want to like knives, that's cool too. If you want to buy any of these, just let me know. Send me a message or a comment, and I'll send you a comunicado, little ways you can reach me directly. And as long as you pay for the shipping, all these include tax. And yeah, thanks guys. Merry Christmas if you celebrate that. It's getting kind of close. And if you're watching this after Christmas, Happy New Year. And if you're watching this after New Year, I don't know, happy fucking day. Love you guys. Bye.